Hello, I'm Steve, and you're watching the Patio Heat channel, where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for ideal patio comfort. Check out our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful, as it helps others find our channel. Now let's get heating. Alright, so here we have this residential application, and it's a has a lot of different angles here, and also we have some lighting up here. Now I have four here, three, and then one back here, and I'm not quite sure exactly where these lights are, as I received two different things. I received a hand-drawn floor plan as well as an image like this, and the image here looks like there's probably just three, and I'm not sure exactly where these ones are located. So we're just going to look at this as kind of a potential layout here. We may have to change this. Maybe we have to come up with a different configuration up here, but at least this will give you some ideas of what we can do with something like this. Now, this customer also requested that we utilize the natural gas if possible, just because he wanted to keep the cost of operational down, and that would be fine. I'll show him what a natural gas system would look like. However, there's a couple things I think about when I talk about cost savings with regards to electric versus gas. Number one, gas is most of the time less expensive to operate. However, when we're talking about a residential application, the amount of use and the time that you actually have the product on really depends on what your time is out in the patio. However, like if it was a commercial application, then you need to have these units on just in case somebody comes out to your restaurant or resort, whatever. So the usage time is higher if you're a commercial application, where electric heaters, using them in a residential application, you just turn the heaters on when you go off and you turn them off when you go back in the house, or you no longer need the units on. So just bear that in mind. Another issue I have with this particular application is that we have this beam here, and this beam causes me to be concerned with regards to the exhaust gases inside of this application. Now, another part of this application, and this may or may not apply to yours, is it's very well protected. So I don't think you need as much heat as you would with an open patio. Let's just say that this wall here didn't exist. Well, you'd probably need much more heat. And if both these walls, the one on the left here and one back here, didn't exist, then yeah, you're going to need a lot more heat. So this is a very well protected patio, so bear that in mind, as well as comparing what works and what doesn't work with regards to gas versus electric. So let's just go from there. All right, first of all, let me just show you the first option that I would come up with for a natural gas application. Now, this might look a little funky, so what I was trying to do is just stay in line with the back wall over here. And generally I just went between these two recessed lighting pieces, and then over here the same thing. Now, these are not specific as far as pinpoint accurately placed up here, but this is just a general visual application here. And then of course over here we have this one here in a on the beam itself, so really this wouldn't work there, but just to give you kind of an idea what a few units would look like this way. And let's go ahead and put the footprint of heat down, and you can see that we get a fairly good coverage with this. And I'm going to actually remove the ceiling. Let's see here. Let's remove that completely so we can kind of see what it looks like here. We got these lighting, can lighting up there, and what I was trying to do is just eliminate the interference with the lights coming down themselves and placing the heaters in a fashion that would be maybe suitable. I'm not quite sure. So that would be one, and you can see again the footprint of heat is fairly well. We do need to make sure that we're keeping clearances around these doors, so that's one thing I did do as well. All right, so let's just go ahead and turn that one off. That would be one option, and then the second option would be going in line with or parallel with this beam here, and you can see I have 4 units here, and I did make sure that we have 18 inches of clearance with this door open. Same with this door, same with this back wall over here, and I offset it because I didn't want the reflection of the lights on on top of the heater. That made no sense. And so yeah, one thing I didn't show you is let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions of this patio. So just so you know that if this is your place, you know that I came up with the dimensions as close as possible. So I have 15, 11, 16, 6, 23, 21, 3 inches, 7 feet 4, and then this wall here being 11, 2, 5, 1 on this wall, 15, 5 on this wall, and this 18, 11, I think. All right, and then also a height here of 10 foot 9 to the ceiling. And again, the issue with this beam is, what happens is, there's exhaust gases that flow off of the heaters. These are vents right here. You can see that this is open. Maybe you could see that. And any case, there's exhaust that flows out of both sides of the heater. I have them pointed down because I wanted to maintain the least amount of clearance, which is 14 inches from the top of the heater to the ceiling. If I angled the heater, it increases to 17 inches. So that's why I have them pointed straight down, because I didn't want them to be too intrusive looking. Here's a view from that space there, kind of a view from here. I don't know that this window is open here, so it's not, but there's a window over here as well. In any case, that's why I placed them straight down, and then also made sure I have clearances here and then clearances on both sides of the units. You can see here that for instance, I have this beam at 9 feet to this inside edge, the inside edge here, and then also the heater itself I have at 6 feet 4 and 3/16 of an inch to the center of the unit from this inside beam, and then from that point over I have 9 feet. So I'm not quite sure where this one truly is, but hopefully that 9 feet would make sure that you had the clearance around the heater itself. So again, let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. So with 4 units, you can see we have a very good coverage throughout this whole space. But again, these are 34,000s. You might even go to a 25,000 BTU heater. And I just have a problem with the exhaust in this application. I think this would be a big issue with regards to the lighting up here. If you had fire sprinklers in here, that would probably be an issue if you didn't evacuate those exhaust gases properly. So this would not be my preferred. The gas heaters would not be my preferred, but again, you could change this unit if you decide to go with gas to a TSH or a S25. S25 would give you 4 more inches reduction of clearance than I have here. So you can go to the 9-inch clearance as opposed to the 14-inch clearance. So anyways, that would be the natural gas units. And let's go ahead and turn that off. And this is going into what a electric heater unit would look like. Now, I have these actually recessed into the ceiling. You could mount these on the surface, and that would be fine. And again, you might have to rework the actual placement based on the lighting and fixtures that you have in there. So if there's any fan or something like that, it's going to be that we have to change the whole plan on either natural gas or electric. But let's go ahead and take the ceiling off again. So these would be flush mounted. You need a flush mount kit. You need a 1-hour fire rated surround around that kit. So those are 2 things that have to be built into this. But I have these roughly at, I think it's 5 feet from light to light, so they're 5 feet from heater to heater. I use the 5,000 watt dual element unit. And the reason I did that is, you can see there's two elements in here. The reason I did that is because we need, the other unit would be, this is 39 inches, the other one would be 61.25 inch, and we would be too close to these beams to flush mount them. We wouldn't meet the 18-inch clearance on either side. So this is has an 18-inch clearance, you know, on each side here that we need to meet, and the 5,000 watt unit would do that. Now, 5,000 watt unit, I typically wouldn't place it at a 10'9" elevation. So if you're considering that, please reconsider that. But in this particular application, because it's so well protected, I would consider that. You know, it should not be an issue with this. So if you look at the footprint of heat, you can see that we have a lot of double overlapping rays because of the 5-foot centers. Again, you can move those further apart based on what the true lighting space is up here. And even though this beam looks like it stops right here, because this is the ideal footprint of heat that you're really looking for, a light wave does travel through space, and it continues to travel until it dissipates or absorbs into a mass, mass being the floors, tables, chairs, and human bodies as well. So just bear that in mind. This is just showing the ideal elevation of the heat for this particular model, and it's also true back here. So I have the two units here, and you can see that there's two just lined up between the two lights here, or the three lights here. And these lights, I have them just lined up, you know, the same on the 3 back here as the 4 up here, and then this one here is lined up with this wall here. So these two will actually line up properly against this wall, or run parallel if you put a line from here to here. So I'm not quite sure where these lights truly are again, so we won't go too much into that anymore. And anyway, I think that's about it. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you'd like us to review what your plans are, please send your information to designs@patioheat.com. And please consider hitting that like button, as it really helps others find our channel, and that's the only way we get around the YouTube algorithms. So we appreciate that so much. Thank you, and have an excellent day.